life as a gay person here, axing out, I guess, the Chinese factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me all about it. Like, what was it like? Like, what did you feel like the city was cold against, I guess, gay people? Do you feel like the city of Vancouver was warm and welcome? I mean, I know Davie Street exists and there's a lot of gay culture there, but that can't be the only gay culture here in Vancouver. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
if it is, then we're just dedicating a road to a group of people. And is that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that it? A rainbow sidewalk and what, right? Like,
Right.
does that mean that gay culture in Vancouver is accepted and everything is great and awesome? Because if it's not, I would at least want to know, like, what's going on. I'm not, I don't have that many gay friends. I've like maybe a small handful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I never really talked to them about gay culture, for example, here specifically in Vancouver, let alone the rest of the world. So growing up between then and now,
Mm-hmm.
changes, similarities, has it all been the same?
It's definitely changed. When I started kind of coming out, and like I secretly read like Extra West, like the LGBT newspaper in Vancouver,
Mm-hmm.
back when it was in print, I felt like, oh, these are my people. This, like the West End, Davie Street, this is my hood. Uh, and back then, I think like in the early 2000s, like there were still, gay bashings here and there, and that was like definitely like really scary. Um, but then things got better, and when I started dating, I would occasionally like, just like that song downtown, when you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown. And sometimes when I was lonely, I would just like go downtown and go to Davie Street, because I felt like, oh, this is where I can like meet people and, you know not feel so alone. But then it just ended up feeling more alone because no one cared. I went to to a youth drop-in where everyone kind of already knew each other, and I felt really isolated. And it was a long time coming, but it made me realize, like I realized one day that like, um, I don't think Davie Street and the West End and like gay culture in Vancouver is my thing. The scene, as people call it, I was not really into the scene. Like I didn't go to nightclubs and I didn't go to bars because I didn't drink for the longest time, and it like I had no interest in any of that. I just wanted to like get to know people, but then the people there were just really difficult to get to know, so I wasn't able to relate to them. And eventually I was just like, okay, you know what? Like at a certain point, you just have to stop forcing yourself into a certain kind of culture or like a group of people if you really feel like you're not being accepted. And so I stopped, and then I just hung out with my like regular friends, and that's been great, and that's been enough.
Mm-hmm.
I do think, I mean, obviously there is more than just Davie Street as a culture in Vancouver, but that is definitely the most visible, I would say. When people come and visit Vancouver, they want to hang out in like, you know,
Yeah.
they want to see the neighborhood, as you go, as whatever, and like people will just say like, go to Davie Street or
God.
whatever. But I think the problem with that is that there's a very the people who go there is a very narrow population of what kind of like what being queer means. You go to, I don't know, the Drive, and the Drive is like pretty queer friendly, and I think the East Van queers are much different than the West End queers, for various reasons, but they don't get as much of the spotlight as the traditional kind of like Davie Street West End queers.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think that's an interesting question of like, who gets to represent LGBT people in our city. Why these people and not these other people? And I think part of that is just like, is the visibility aspect. You know, you have Davie Street, you have the Rainbow Crosswalks, you have all the gay nightclubs and stuff like that, but you don't really have that in East Van or, you know, the Drive or what have you. And also, I just think East Van queers are like more laid back and chill and don't care
Mm.
about being like the beacon of all, you know, queer society in Vancouver. So